In the last 3 years, we've generated over $10 million for e-commerce brands solely using email marketing. And I am not about to talk about some fancy AI hack or some email marketing magic that will 10x your store revenue overnight. As much as I would love to sit here and say that, that's simply not the reality. The reality is, to grow your e-commerce brand's email revenue in 2025, you need to master the fundamentals and do them right. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the top 3 email marketing strategies that we used to make over 10 million for physical product brands. And by the end of the video, you'll have everything you need to double, triple, maybe even quadruple your email revenue. All right, so before I dive into these strategies, I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Adam Rame, founder of a marketing agency for e-commerce brands called Rame Copy. And our specialty is helping e-commerce or D2C brands make a lot more money from their email and SMS marketing and retain customers longer. We've worked with a ton of different niches, from skincare to CBD, training products, fitness products, self-help products, apparel, you name it. And across all of these different niches, these are the 3 email marketing strategies that we've seen perform the best. All right, strategy number 1 is the automated flow overhaul. So let's start with what most brands get wrong here. Most of the e-commerce brands that I jump in and do an audit for are leaving massive amounts of money on the table every single month with their automated flows. They might have a basic welcome and like one abandoned cart flow, and maybe, if you're lucky, a post-purchase flow, but that's usually it. For more mature brands, they'll usually have this more well built out, but it still always has a ton of holes in it. They usually just don't even know that they're missing. With one of our clients, they were a skincare brand making about 20K a month from email when we first started, and they had 2 extremely generic flows running. It was a welcome series with just one email that was basically just saying, like, you know, here's 10% off, and the Klaviyo generic abandoned cart sequence. And after implementing our full flow build out, their email revenue went from 20K to 60K in just 90 days, tripling it, which made a massive impact on their brand. And the best part is that these are all automated emails, so they just work 24/7 once they're set up. And obviously, when you work with us, we do a lot of testing on that stuff, but for the generic brand, they could just leave those things running. So in 2025, it's very important that you have all of the automated flows built out, at least to some capacity. So I'm gonna give you a list of all the core flows that you need to be running right now. Welcome flow, site abandonment flow, browse abandonment flow, cart abandonment flow, checkout abandonment, and then on the post-purchase side of things, you have a first-time buyer series, a repeat buyer series, a VIP flow, a customer win-back flow, a re-engagement flow, and then when it comes to SMS, you want an SMS welcome series, an SMS browse abandonment flow, an SMS abandoned cart flow, and an SMS abandoned checkout flow. And then there might be some custom ones that will be specific to your store that might make sense. Hey guys, we'll get right back to the video in a minute, but if your e-commerce brand is leaving money on the table right now with your email and SMS marketing, we've helped brands like these add a ton of money on a monthly basis with their email and SMS marketing. So if you are an established e-commerce brand doing at least $50,000 to $100,000 a month, but struggling with low customer lifetime value, poor open rates, disappointing email revenue, we can help out with that. Our team of email specialists will conduct in-depth market research, craft value-based campaigns that your audience will actually want to read, and build all of your email flow automations with beautiful designs that are made to convert, match your brand perfectly, and educate your customers while solving all their objections. So there are 2 ways to take action on this today. Either click the first link in the description to book a call directly with me, where we'll talk about strategy, what you're dealing with right now, and how your team looks, or click the second link in the description to join my free newsletter. I send a ton of valuable stuff there throughout every single week. And again, it's completely free. Let's make email your most profitable sales channel. All right, now back to the video. All right, strategy number 2 is the value first campaign calendar. All right, so nowadays, the average e-commerce brand's campaign strategy is just blast the list with as many discounts and offers and promos as they can. And then they sit here and wonder why their unsubscribe rate is skyrocketing and their open rate is plummeting. The secret to getting your campaign calendar right is mastering your value to promotion ratio. We like to stick with about a 3-to-1 value to promotion ratio, or maybe 4-to-1. So first part of this is the content pillars. You want to identify 3 to 5 topics that your specific market or audience genuinely cares about. For a skincare brand, for example, this might be skin health, ingredient education, lifestyle tips, things like that. And then you want to nail down the types of value content that you can produce. So number 1 might be educational content where you're actually teaching them something. Number 2 might be entertainment content where you're going like behind the scenes or telling some type of story. And a third good one here is community emails. So this is where you're featuring customers or answering questions. And then you want to nail down your campaign calendar structure. So put simply here, for every promotional email you send, you just want to make sure that you've sent about 3 to 4 value emails that went before it or with it. One nice template that we like to use is this. Week 1 is educational content and entertainment content. Week 2 is community content and promotional content. Then week 3, you go back to educational content and entertainment content. And then week 4, once again, just like week 2, you go back to community and promotional content. This strategy creates what we call invisible selling. Your audience just gets so engaged with the content that you're giving them because it's things that they actually care about. And then when you do go ahead and make an offer, they are primed to buy. All right, strategy number 3 is data-driven segmentation. Most brands treat their whole email list as one big group without any different diversification within it. They'll send the same emails all the time to everyone, regardless of behavior, purchase history, or engagement level. As an example of this, we took over the email marketing strategy for a CBD brand that was blasting their list with promotion. And their email revenue was extremely stagnant because of this. We nearly quadrupled their email revenue, and that was in less than 5 months. And their campaign conversion rates went from 0.8% to about 3%. So now let me give you our segmentation framework. Number 1 are segments that are based on engagement. So this is where you can use different levels of days in terms of when was the last time that they opened or clicked an email from you. The most common segment here is going to be your 30-day engaged list. This is just anybody that opened or clicked an email at least one time in the last 30 days. One thing that I tell my team all the time though is that you want to be sending to as big of a segment as you can if you're going to send it engaged. And what I mean by that is that you don't want to consistently send to those segments unless they get you at least about a 40 to 45% open rate. If not, they're not very engaged and they're going to kind of hurt your deliverability score. The second way that you can segment people is based on purchase behavior. So the main ones that you'll have here are first-time buyers, repeat buyers, VIPs, so your very best customers, and then you can even break it down to a specific type of buying behavior combined with an engaged behavior. Number 3, and this is a really cool one that we've been experimenting more with lately, which is interest-based segments. You can track which product categories people click on in a certain campaign that you send, or you can even set this up so that based on what those people bought, because as I like to say, people speak more with their credit card rather than their words, meaning when they buy something, they're really telling you what they actually like. You can use what they bought kind of against them in a way. It sounds bad, but that's what I mean, where you only give them content based on what they bought. One example is, let's say you are shopping at a clothing brand's website. You've been buying from this brand for maybe 3 to 4 months now, and you only ever buy black clothes from them. That's something that we should be able to pick up through our automations and then tag you with an interest in the black clothing category. And then when we send you an email, we might send it with a ton of black clothing being featured in it. And then boom, you're very, very likely to buy from that piece of content. So that's everything. Those are the 3 core email marketing strategies that we've used to make e-commerce brands over $10 million. First was the automated flow overhaul. Second was the value first campaign calendar. And third was the data-driven segmentation. There's a lot here, but I'm sure that if you take any of the things that I've told you in this video, you will see improvement in your email revenue, even in the next 30 days. Thank you for watching. Hope you got a ton of value from the video. By the way, if you are an e-commerce brand that's doing bare minimum $50,000 to $100,000 per month and you want our help actually implementing these strategies, then you can click the first link in the description to book a quick call with me. And I'll talk to you about all the different things that you're dealing with, what you're trying to improve, what you're looking for, all that type of stuff. If not, feel free to hit the second link in the description to jump on my free newsletter. I give a bunch of free content there. It's all super strategic and super helpful for e-commerce brands mostly. But anyways, thanks for watching. You can click on my channel to watch the rest of the videos. We got a bunch of other stuff just like this, and I will see you in the next one.